Well, Dustin's feeling pretty optimistic this morning. We think, we're going to knock out at least 3 or 4 different projects today. Just little piddly things that are dragging out and driving us nuts. So as you can tell, bean planer, we've made some progress on it. It is completely reassembled. The only thing we've got left are these seed delivery tubes. There is one on this side right here. Obviously it has already completely broke. This one's kinked and this one's getting cracked, which is what happens on a 20-plus-year-old planter. Some of those are ones that are in place, but a lot of those are the originals, so not surprised, they tend to get brittle over time. So we've got to replace those 3 here real quick, and then I think we're ready to get this thing out of here. It's been in here too long. We bought a 50-foot roll, because, well, that's what they came in. Let's hope that's enough. Okay, I'm good. All right. All right, well, we got that one routed where we think it is the best route. You want to follow that this way. This one? Yep. Alright, to here. Okay. This one is the next one, and it's a little bit longer. So just kind of try and remember how it laid in there. I think just right on top of everything, pretty much in front. I don't know if we're going to get back through that stuff, but maybe not. Probably not. Seed and air do not flow through hose that does that very well. I'd say push it my way a little bit. So the other ones run actually pretty straight to it. I'd say that'll give us a little bit of extra, I'd say right there. Well, that is now the shiniest piece on this planter. And our last one's right here. If you can tell, that's actually still newer hose. Oh, actually I need that. And that's because this was an in-season fix last year. Well, that could have been my finger. Yeah, that knife's pretty dull, so it'll cut you pretty quick. Yeah. And I was dealing with hose that was just a little too short. Well, moment of truth. We had to cut them all without truly testing them. There's definitely more extra in there than what it previously had. But until we go and fold it, we won't truly know. That's the thumbs up I like to see. And I'm trying to do it one-handed. Sorry. Oh yeah. Plenty of room there. Yeah, I like that. I'm glad we put it on the backside, because if we'd have done it on the front, it would have been on top trying to pull it clear over here. Yeah, it's the same way on the other side too. They look really good. Good. You looked at it long enough, I was like, oh crap, is it starting to pinch already? Oh, much nicer. So that's the short one. The longer one in there, looks like it's starting to squeeze a little already, but I don't know how she do it.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, those look good. That's a thumbs up on that. Well, other than some general in-field getting ready, that thing is done.
How much room is the 60-foot planter going to take up?
A lot. We're not gonna be able to park it there. That's for sure. Because, and I don't know, this may give it away if some people really know their planters, but it's a 60-foot bar, but the main frame is, they use the same main frame for their 60 and 80 foot. So we've got a longer main frame, so it's gonna stick out even further. So yeah,
Have to go right there.
yeah, it's gonna have to go somewhere in the corner where it's not, because it would easily, I don't even know if you'd be able to get anything past it.
Yeah,
So that's gonna have to find a new spot for that. No weights. Weights. Those weights need to go here. So these starter weights are only 160 pounds, but the only, but the 3 bolts that bolt that on are the same bolts that bolt the big weights on. So it's easy getting that one up against the rim, but you've got to get both of them together and then bolt them on. So we're thinking, bolts are long enough, if we can manhandle that onto that, it'll sit there long enough to use the fork truck on the big weights. Of course we did it by hand. We got that one. Big one's yours. Yeah, we can put the bottom one in, and then just use fork truck for the. Yeah. Whoa! That was close. That scared the snot out of me, Dustin. My biggest mistake was right there, was jumping towards it, just in case. Make sure that doesn't happen again.
Hey, when you about kill yourself or get smashed under something, that's when you make good content.
That's right. That's what people like to see.
That's when you make your
Living on the edge.
That's when you make your 1,000,000 views.
All right, we're gonna test our luck one more time. We're gonna go ahead and get the starter weight on this side while Dad's getting the big weights. That was a little safer. Woo! Still makes you jump when it slides right by your head. All right.
Good old gravity, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Unfortunately, guys, I've decided I'm gonna have to touch these up. There's no way we're moving these without forks inside. And forks will inevitably scratch them.
Well, did you ever come up with your bolt that we can hang them?
I really think at this point that's going to be more work than I want to mess with.
I agree.
So
I'm not arguing that.
we'll scratch them and we'll touch them up.
The right way?
I don't know. There you go. Okay. It makes me cringe.
It goes in these, doesn't it?
Yes. So I spun it for no reason. Yeah. I was going off the other.
How are we gonna?
Hang on. You want to slide it without the stuff?
Okay, mine started.
Okay, come on, straight in. Whoa.
Are you through?
Yep, I mean.
You held it. Didn't scratch too bad. Touch-ups.
Actually, not as bad as I was expecting.
No, he's just sliding it off. Just
Cool. Yep. Honestly, guys, we didn't scuff them bad at all. Not near as much as I thought the forks would. We had to spin this one a little bit more, so we'll touch that up. But that's 3 pallets empty, 3 pallets off the shop floor, and 1 more project completed. We might be doing small projects today, but just something about seeing your to-do list actually get stuff checked off. Like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. We've already marked off 2 things from the list. So, in my book, it's already been a productive day. And there's at least 2 more items that we should, take that back. There's at least 3 more items that we should be able to mark off today. Dustin's getting the blue Kenworth unhooked because it has a leaking air chamber. And they're on disc brakes, which is really nice. But it's different than any air chamber we've ever dealt with before. So we got to get it in here, get it off. We're going to take that to our truck dealership and have them match it just to make sure we know what we're getting and everything works smoothly. And while looking at how the weight's mounted for the 8R, we saw that the left weights on the 8360 are improperly mounted. So we get to pull those all off and spin them and mount them correctly. Let's get this moved into the shop, and I'll show you what I'm talking about with the wheel weights. You're good up there. So this is our problem child right here. As far as I can tell, it's 2 air lines, and then you can't really tell, but there's a bolt on top and a bolt on bottom. And as far as I know, it should just pull off. I don't know. Figure it out as we go. Yeah. We're good at that. Touche on that. The truck should be new enough, too, that those swivels should still swivel. Yay. Yep, those are 2 different sizes, so we shouldn't have to worry about mixing those up. All right, you see the other 2 bolts I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you know what size they are?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I bet they're 15. Or 24, same thing. We'll get the big breaker bar in case they're really tight. You got enough room for a deep well? Oh.
No, I'm gonna need a wrench.
Okay. Oh, wrench. Well, that failed. You're taking the nut off, and the bolt is what will go with the airbag.
I would say try a 21.
No, it's a 24. Oh yeah. What's that look for?
This is gonna suck.
It might be one that's easier from underneath. Hey, we've got a 6-foot pit there. Why is this not over the pit?
Well, right now.
Yeah. We don't think that far ahead sometimes. Yep, bottom one's off. Now we're, yeah. All right, moment of truth. Is it gonna just pull out? You got it good? Yep. Yep, just a big push rod. Okay, I'm going up. There you go. Well, that's kind of nifty. It's literally just like a piston in a cup, and it just pushes it. Just pushes in on it, so it's kind of got a seal on it. That's pretty cool. So what we were having, the chamber in here, there's a bladder in here, and don't ask me exactly how. All I know, you supply air to a bladder, pushes that piston out. Well, we were having quite a bit of air escape through that. And typically, when that happens, the whole thing's bad. Bladder gets cracked or something, and you just swap a new one on. Very common thing. All right, next tractor, 8360. It has 2 sets of weights on it. These are correct, but if you look at these bolts are supposed to go through this hole. So both of these need to come off. This starter weight needs to come off, rotate over so that the bolts go through here, and then we can put the weights back on. There's I can literally stick my hands between these weights. So the entirety of these weights, and there's times where we have 3 weights on this, so 1,200 pounds are hanging on these bolts. It's not mated against this and supporting it like it should. Literally on 3 bolts. It's a wonder we haven't had any issues previously with breaking those bolts. Woo. Yep, you're good. It's been a while since those have been off. They're a little dirty. Woo! There we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. 160 pounds. Yeah, as long as we didn't do those weights. Nope, you're good right there. Just twist it. Now back up. And now you're good. Back on. Any idea what the next project on the list is? Yeah. Got our next bean contract that we can start hauling on. And it's more bushels, so not unfortunately, but we've got 3 small bins of beans left. They all happen to be at my house, and this contract should empty all 3 of those bins. So, we're gonna start there. The only thing that's unfortunate about this is, well, we've already started pulling out of this bin, which means right away, gotta get in there and start sweeping. Get half a truck loaded, and then we gotta move the auger to the next one. But we'll just take this, pull forward, we'll start pulling out of that one once I get my butt in there sweeping.
dirty beans.
Oh man,
There's
yeah.
a lot of stuff in it.
All right, two things. One, I forgot how terrible that sweep is and how slow it is. I think I sat around twiddling my thumbs more than I actually spent sweeping. And two, I was quickly reminded of how dry we harvested beans last year, because those things were dusty. The only problem we have with this one is with this long swing away, I have to pull forward too far to where we lose some of our length, not to mention the larger swing away won't fit under that. We might be shoveling regardless. Or we'll just plow with the auger. Yeah. Alright, that's good enough.
What if we let it down and swing it up this way?
So basically let it down and you just kind of swing it around as I back up.
Yeah, and then I'll just keep shimmying it as you're backing up, and
Try it.
will that work?
We'll try it. Not gonna do anything but waste time.
Took a bunch of your grass!
But you weren't shimmying it!
Will that work?
Once we replace my saw.
Yeah. Hey, at least it ripped it all in one piece.
Look at that. This sucker keep going. Well, score one for Dustin. He's never unloaded out of these bins, and I think he just came up with a better way to do it. Keeps our auger well into the drive, too.
Yep.
Well, at the rate that's coming out, that's not going to take long. And it's very loud and windy. Well, that second half of the truck loaded a whole lot faster than the first. And now I get to, I was going to say Dustin's dirty side of the, but this is Kyle's truck. Man, Kyle?
He's living like a literal pig there.
No kidding. Oh well. Well, I can't say we finished everything we set out to do today because still had to order that brake chamber. But my ultimate goal of getting the piddly things done to get the sprayer in, that was a success. And this sprayer's going to be in here a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And Dustin, do you have a random fact? I do not. Give me a second. All right, I got one. In light of how flippin' windy it is today and supposed to be more or less the rest of this week, winds on Neptune, they say will, but how do they really know? So I'm going to go with supposedly will blow over 1,200 miles per hour. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.